Peace and love. It's Empress Isha. Some people say Empress Isha, and I hear it both ways. If you say it Isha or Isha out loud in the market, I would turn around. Um, so I am going to do two things, and I'm going to try to keep it short. I want to talk about this this subject right here. I wanted to say if black is a culture that was forced upon a people, then why would that people stay black? That's what I wanted to. That's what I wanted to say. But I wanted to shorten it. If I wanted to shorten it even more, I could say black culture was forced on us, so why stay black? I would say that. And then the other, multitasking. So I'm going to be doing two in one, which is sort of what always happens anyway. The last time we were here live together, it was to continue a conversation that was going on Supreme Chief Holiday's channel. And we ended up talking about the Garifuna, a subject that I hope we get back to, and I'm sure we will. But black is a culture forced upon a people, so why would that people stay black? That's the question on the table. And then this is a subject that I want to talk about a little bit. And this is actually the phone number here, 425 436 6200. And if you call that number, it will ask you for a PIN, which is 238 344. And you would follow that PIN number by the pound sign, the hashtag is what they say, or one of the other keys. And then you would be put into a conference call with me. And that's the music. If you hear a little music playing in the background, that's the free hold music. And okay, I'm come back over here. Original Night with peace and love to you. Yes, great. I'm glad you were here. That's right. So you're a moderator. I learned how to do that the last time. I was so frantic about it. So I'm doing two things here. I want to have us. I don't want to be here long this morning because I got started late. I really try to do this earlier in the morning. I'm hoping to do it early enough to do it before I go to work on work days that I work. Tuesday and Wednesday are my off days. And so these are the days that make it easy for me to not feel rushed. But on a work day, I'd like to still be able to come in and maybe while I'm getting ready, have a small discussion. So the question on the table for me this morning for this particular stream is Black is a culture forced upon a people, so why would that people stay Black? And that's a question. And then the other subject is going to be this free conference call that I have subscribed to, and I was wanting to suggest that to our community because the more we can talk about these heavy subjects, these subjects that are really important for us to um, plow through, uh, this having a number like this could make it a lot easier to have people call in because there are privacy issues, and sometimes people are a lot less afraid to voice their opinion if they are doing it through a call in. Excuse me. So, so I hope we get a few people in here. Maybe someone will even call in. I have to come back and forth because when you use your okay, so I'm on a computer. That's one of the other issues. I'll stop screen sharing for a few minutes. But before I do that, if you can see my cursor here on the screen, if anyone sees my cursor, I am using StreamYard free. It's the free StreamYard service. And I'm going to mute for a few minutes and watch my actions. Okay, so what I did was I am showing you on StreamYard how I am using the page options. This is the free. I don't even know what it looks like on the, I believe, $20 a month paid subscription to StreamYard. But using StreamYard, you have these options when you are using the free account. And so I was showing you that you click here, you see my arrow, it says invite. And when you do that, you got the option of sharing your screen by copying to clipboard. So I did that. That's here. I entered that here. And it is an open invite as well. And then what I did is I went and added join me on the panel or call in. Then I entered the call in phone number, which is free. And you will be prompted to enter a code. This is the code 238344. And then they prompt you on that phone call to follow that entry code by the star key or the hashtag key, or the hashtag key being the pound key. Okay. Um, with these two options, I say if you are unable to do it, your live stream with a computer device, that you may be able to do it with two phones. A lot of people do have two, one for your call in uh, option to be available to you, and one for you to actually uh, stream on. So if someone were to call in, I'm already on my speaker, it's turned down low. I would turn up the volume and I would set my phone closer to the computer so that the caller would hear the feed that's going on the live stream and participate in that way. And you, in turn, would be able to hear the caller. I'm doing this because I believe that subjects like this would be discussed more openly if people have the option of privacy that many people are just not willing to expose who they are. They may not be willing to put their YouTube identity out there. It's a touchy subject sometimes. But on my platform, of course, I have my personal opinion about these subjects. And there may be times that I have not developed a opinion that I'm ready to talk about, but that it needs to be talked about is surely important. And so, black is a culture forced upon a people. So why would that people stay black? Why would people do that? Why if you have, I know when you don't know any better, that's one thing. But when you know better, then then it becomes suspectful, if that's a word, as to uh, why would a people continue to go in that direction. So Black culture, Black is a designation of race that was imposed upon the people who today are called African American. And if you don't know any better, you'll be an African in America according to the history that is taught by us. So why not just be African? What would be the need to change a group's cultural designation to a color? Why? So I'm going to um, stop my screen share and just talk for a little while. And then I'm going to share it again because I want to make sure that this free conference call option is clearly described. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about the free conference calling. I am going to post the number again altogether, though. I am not going to go into detail because it's not just conference calling. I think you also have an option of doing video conferencing and also recording the calls. So I have not completely used this service. I have only okay. So we are going to. I'm gonna post this for a minute. Okay, so Nightwolf, you say we were pulled into a narrative by people that look like us. Okay. When you say that, Nightwolf, are you saying that this narrative by the people that look like us were people who were here making moves with the colonizing immigrants, making contracts with those people? Are those the people that look like us that you are referring to? Or would that be the people in the country of, or the continent we know now as Africa, who were helping to enslave people? I think it would have to be one of the two. It would have to be the people who were in Africa that helped enslaved Africans to be brought over here somehow by whatever number, or it would have to be the people that look like us here who were making contracts with people who came here because they would benefit in some way from a contract like that. Same like in Africa. So the people in Africa or the people that were already here when those immigrants arrived? That's a question for you, Nightwolf. Who are the people that look like us that you are talking about? So if anyone else is here, there's a call-in number there, and I have that I have that conference call open. So if you call the number here, if you call this number and enter this code, followed by that asterisk, that pound sign that you see there, you would be in a call with me that would be heard on this live stream that we're on right now. So my two subjects for this live stream is why we still black over here, or why y'all still black, whoever is black. Why are you still black? And the other item on the menu is get you a free conference number, and that way, if someone wants to conceal their identity, their YouTube identity, so that they can freely speak for whatever reason, being non-judgment here, then you have that option. They can call in because the point is to get these discussions on the table. So, Nightwolf, I hope you are going to type something there about this narrative, because I think it would be the narrative of the people in both cases, honestly. But what is the narrative? What narrative? Oh, I went away without sharing. So I'm going to share my screen again. And one of the things that I try to do with my sharing is I am trying to provoke more conversations. I don't have enough uh, listeners or subscribers. I don't have enough subs, I don't think, to get people to communicate with me this way right now. Okay, Nightwolf. You talking about the black narrative of being, all of those designations. So, okay. So before the blackety black, but blackety black designation, we were Negro, and I think I'm going to say it in the order that I see it in. We were Negro, colored, and then as mixing took place, whether it were the colonizing people who were white or whether it were the white people mixing with the indigenous American, or whether it were the so-called African mixing with the so-called white people, or whether it were the so-called African that was brought here mixing with the indigenous American. In either of those three cases, you would have not been called Negro or color. You would have been designated mulatto. And I heard mestizo, but I'm not sure about the other designations. I'm going to mute just for a few minutes. Okay, so I'm going to keep sharing that free conference call information as we're here. So, okay, original Night Wolf says I was thinking more like the 1960s Black leaders, Black Panthers, things like that. So I do remember that Black was accepted, that the term Black Power was used to empower this designation that was given to us, to own the thing. And I get it. I get it. Maybe it wasn't enough information at that time to really know how or why to change this designation of black that was given to us. Black is a culture. Is black a culture? Black is a culture forced upon a people. So why would that people stay black? Well, we were just black when we woke up, according to the world. And then one day we said, that's yellow, this is red, this is green, This is brown. This is black. And then we said, "But what is? How am I black?" I mean, I think that's probably the way it goes. We kind of start questioning this concept of black somewhere in our psyche. But before that, before we could start questioning that, like when you're learning colors, we start learning colors as early as we can talk, I'm sure. And even if we don't know what the color is, we are already identifying colors, I'm sure, that there's a difference in something that is one color or another. But then when we're being taught, like in the age of 2, maybe even 1, I'm thinking, when we're starting to form words, the first one of the first things we start learning is say yellow, yellow, pink, blue. We start learning colors as soon as we're saying mama. So so we're born into this, right? We're born into being black. Akia, hey y'all. Peace and love to you. Right, it's a death sentence. You know, oh, you don't think it was accepted in the 50s. Okay. I'd like to know more about that. Nightwolf, I think you're already supposed to be telling us something, but what was it? It was something from the last stream that you must have said. And I think I'm going to have to go back and watch it. And I was like, yeah, I'd like to I was wondering about that thing. But Akia, I want you to know that last live stream I did, you came in as I was pressing the end broadcast, and I could not. I was already in process. Come here, Roderick. He want to come and talk to me. This is my nephew. He wanna talk to the people. Come on. What you want to say? What, what color are your pants? Oh, okay. You already know that. He's 3. So I got to finish saying this, right? No, I got to finish saying this, Akia. You came in, but I was able to go ahead. I just learned that same morning how to mod give modu, give modulating to my subscribers. Right? It was a whole thing. Right? It was amazing, and I was able to make you a mod. so So if you go back to that stream, I think it was the day before yesterday, and um, and so you're a mod. Okay, how about that? so, okay, you gotta go brush your teeth. So um, I just wanted you to know that. And so I want to go back up here to what original Nightwolf is saying. He says that he don't think it was accepted in the 50s. Now I believe that's probably true, and I don't doubt you. I have no reason to, but I would like to Right. Okay. So I did this thing where, everybody that came into that live stream, Akia, I gave the mod um, ability to, and the thing that I made, um, that I requested of my mods is that it, unlike Chief Sebi Indigenous, the realist, he mods people, and he doesn't want people to hide comments and things like that. And I don't mind like not hiding comments, but if a person gets what you call rude and obnoxious, then I don't want that. Okay, so I want my mods. I'm not ready like um, Chief Sebi. I'm not ready like that. So I mean, like I really want to. What I really want to do is I want my platform to be for discussions that lead to that are going to lead to the people who are interested in moving forward to lead them and and guide people in a forward moving direction, and that the argument of why this is an argument is something that I'm not interested in trying to do. If someone wants to talk about a thing, that makes sense to me. But belligerent um, comments and disrespectful comments, I want my modulators to take care of the business. So, okay, Richard Pryor said something like that in an interview. I'm going to try to find it. Uh, I hope I can find that. But the question on the table right now is: Black is a culture forced upon a people. So why would that people stay Black? And I was saying something and got distracted, but I know that I was saying that we were Negro, colored, mulatto if we were obviously mixed with we being that I'm going to be speaking from the indigenous American, from the American that was here point of view. If we were mixed with the white colonizer, we would be called mulatto. Oh, I don't see my cake. Let me put it on mute. Let me see. Oh yeah, the Cahokia, Illinois thing. That's right. Mm-mm. We don't even want to be expert on stuff. We want to be in discovery. So I want to know what it's like as a as you experience it. Because we learn so much from people who are supposed who supposedly already know. Yeah, that mind control thing got us messed up. Yeah, so yeah, right. This Cahokia Mile experience. Are you close to it? If you're close to it still or ever get there, I sure would like to know a from a more amateur meaning from a love of wanting to know about that thing. You know, a lot of times when people use the word amateur, they use it and it's not like, like sort of in a way that is saying something negative, like, oh, you are amateur, you don't know nothing. But I'm using amateur as in uh, meaning, you know, doing it because you have a passion for it. So, I wanted to know about your experience as you experience it from the point of view that, you were born near there and those people who were there, may have some relationship to you for real. So, okay, so why would that people stay black? Why are people pro black is what I'm getting at. People want to hold on to the so called black culture, and I wonder why. So I'm part of a community, not by badge, but in an amateur way. I'm a part of two communities. One is the community of the indigenous American who has recently woke up to that these are the facts. This is what our grandparents told us. This is what we find as we dig back into our ancestry and look at our genealogy. And the other community is the people who are speaking, I wanted to say against, but I really don't call it against, who are speaking opposed to black culture, opposed to pro blackness. That's the other community. And both of the communities are important to me because in both of these communities, we are talking about becoming becoming more than what was forced upon us. So I'm taking a deeper look at what is culture. Not anymore, but when I visit back home, I'll go for a visit and I'll try to keep in contact with you, take some pics, and tell you about the experience. I hope so, because I'm going to bug you about it. So thank you for that. I really, I really do look forward to it. I'm closest to Cahokia Mound and the Cahokia Mound environment as as opposed to someone that may be closer to the Mississippian mounds. And what I am going to be bugging the community of Indigenous Americans about a a combined effort to go to these places in a way that we will explore together. So the other thing that I'm doing here is I have been talking about free conference call. com. And so there are other options, uh, but I'm interested in the audio conference part because so I'm not trying to at all talk about all of the options that exist with free conference calling. I'm only talking about the part that that I use or want to use. I have before to for people who cannot get on the panel or don't want to get on the panel, but still might want to talk about issues. So these are some of the commands that you can use once you sign up and you have a conference call that's on. I haven't used any of these like breakout rooms or call account, but I am actually on that call right now. If anyone were to call, let me come back over and highlight that again. If anyone were to call the number, enter this code, the music that's playing would stop and you would be in a conference call with me. Okay. Okay. Do you study any of the occult? I might, Akia, but I don't know for sure. I would say I don't, but I would say that I have peeked. I have looked a little into what that means. What is the occult? But no, I have not studied in the occults in that area of study. I should say here probably that I am not, and I've said it in some of my videos that are out there. I don't have any specific certifications or education that would mean that I have any professional advice or ability to share. What I am doing is from, I think you might call it layman, from a layman's perspective, an amateur perspective, from the passion that I have for wanting to see my community of people, the same people that were forced into a culture that is being called Black culture. I have a passion for seeing that people enlighten and having discussion that will move us forward. And so, what I am doing is sharing my experiences and like I'm sharing a free conference call information so that some of the other platforms might want to, maybe they don't know about it, or maybe they know about it and haven't just haven't had time to put it in action. And so maybe this will help. So, so I'm, just sharing when I go and I'm doing the share page. Oh, did I say it wrong? Let's see. Let me see if there's something else. So, for instance, when I share um, this page, I am also asking sometimes, do you see my pointer and, what this is down here? How you can go from, if I touch this screen Well, it didn't. Oh, that's because I'm doing it on the wrong screen. Okay, so if I touch this screen, then my share screen will get smaller and I'll get bigger. So I'm actually sharing as I'm learning. So you say, this is Akia. There is a lot of our past culture tied into the account, which is just hidden knowledge. Occult, okay. Hidden, you know, okay, so I think what you're saying is that the occult is that's what the occult is. That is hidden knowledge, right? So in some ways, because we are the indigenous American coming into the light of this information, that makes us students of the occult, students of this hidden knowledge. So that's why I say, um, I can say yes in some way, but not a specific occult, um, a specific titled occult. I think that makes sense. But so here I am. Here's my pointer. If you see my screen share, now the screen is smaller, but I'm gonna make the screen back larger. So if you see my pointer, and I'm showing anyone here is how I'm using StreamYard, which is a free service for however long it will be free, and I'm using the free StreamYard, and so here's my pointer, and here's me making the screen share bigger. Here's my pointer, and here's me down. Well, you can't see it. Let me take a kiss. Here's my pointer. Here's me stopping the screen share. So now, a lot of times when I'm doing the screen share, I want you to see what I'm doing, not just that I'm sharing the screen, but what I'm doing with the. I'm pressing screen share again, but what I'm doing here, okay? So, like if a person came up, let's say, I can't show you what it's like to enter StreamYard for people who don't know what that might be like because I'm already in here. But once you're in here, if you were a guest, you would not immediately go up on the screen. You'd be down here in this half, like this could be you. And then the host would add you to the screen. And here you have your mute mic. Here you have edit avatar, where you can change your avatar from, you could use a picture that you have of yourself or something that represents you. StreamYard is only free for so many gigabytes, I think, so much space. So I wasn't going to stay on for long. It's unbelievable to me that it's almost an hour already. And I thank you, whoever is listening in, and definitely you who are participating with me here in the chat. I'm going to just go over here again and say that free conference call is a free service for so many minutes. Same like StreamYard. Morning, Pooh. That's my big nephew. So, um, so this is just some of the codes that you can use, like mute. That's a very important one. You won't memorize this *5 key, probably. And So here's what it says. So let's just say five people called into my conference call, and then two of those five people got into an argument, and I can't be heard. Now I could just mute my phone and let them go at it, or I could take control and press star five once to mute all the participants. Now, this is a free conference number until you use so much of the space or until you want to add your own hold music. And then I think it's $2 a month or something like that. Now, you might not want the participants to know that they could do this, but they can press star six and unmute themselves. But if that happened, let's just say someone was rude enough, I could press star five again, and everybody would be muted and unable to unmute again. And then you press star five again to return to the conversation. So there's no way to unmute everyone, and so that's why Huey P. Nuisance. You know what? Thank you for coming, and thank you for entering the chat. Halito, to you, I have a lot of respect for you and your platform. You are very gifted. It takes some talent to do what you do. I'd love to have you as a guest on here on my channel some point, and to have you talk about what you do. If anybody has not visited Huey P. Nuisance, he is a real talented brother. I appreciate the work that he does. So, Huey, what we're talking about here, or trying to just, I'm just, hitting the edges, not in the forest, not at all, but just trying to start some conversations with people who are not so far into these kinds of questions. And even if a person is so far into and has the answers and knows a lot about these subjects, what I want to do here is revisit some of these kinds of questions, because we are always going to have people who are just now looking in the mirror. So, this is my question. Black is a culture forced upon a people, so why would that people stay black? Thinking that if something is forced upon you, as soon as you are able to, you would want to change that thing, right? And Macadon, big hitters. Macadon, how are you? Thank you for coming, and thank you for entering the chat as well. I appreciate you. So the other day, I was able to go on to YouTube, and Wanagi taught me through how to do the modulating, and so today I am not on my phone on YouTube, or I'd be right back at it. So I might go over there. I might get off of this conference call and go over there, because I want to definitely um, make you two mods. I have a lot of high regard and respect for you, and also Huey P. Nuisance as content creators, and also Akia. Akia, you are impressive. I want to tell you, I have been slowly but surely looking at some of the work that you do and you are going to help somebody. I'm thinking you already are, you know, your willingness to be open and sharing your life and experiences is amazing. I want you to know that that's my opinion of you. So what I'm talking about here is two things. I'm talking about one thing and sharing something else. So the one thing that I'm talking about is Black being a culture forced upon a people, and why that people would stay Black. Because if something is being forced upon you and it makes me think about, and this is a little drastic, but it makes me think about the case where you see in movies, and then there are some live cases that I know about, but can't call up, that people were taken, let's say, at birth, or yeah, that's a good one actually, taken at birth, and then coming to the knowledge later that they were taken at birth, and then although they may be clear on what has happened with them, they they don't want to leave. They have accepted and are comfortable with what their designation is. But then you have people who are enlightened, and once they are enlightened and they know what has happened, they want they want out. So for me, it's it's not a hard question. I cannot understand why why a people would stay Black. I cannot understand it. Now I do know that there were times that Black was empowerment, and um, words like Black Power, and songs like Young, Gifted, and Black were right. This is Huey P. Newson's. This is what he does. This is what he does. He says Black equal be lacking in ever situation. Brown equal be our own owners. Be our own owners. Be lacking in every situation. Be our owners. Huey, I think that when you look at the breakdown of these words, the way you have it set here, in either of these cases, being designated either of these colors is derogatory, right? And and that what is important when you come into this knowledge is to make a change. And to make that change, we have to know more, right? Like who you are, right? Like who you really are, rather than being a color. I would, and thus African American. So the creation of being an African who is in American was put in place to fix that, right? But look at that narrative. You have to know that you were an African, And who would have told you that? But the same people who told you you were black. So it's not a fix. And if it were a fix, if you did accept that as your truth, then why would you still be calling? Why would you still be black? Why wouldn't you be pro African American, or I mean, why are we still hugging black? So the way I'm moving in this is that there's another community that I hang out in and I feel that I am a part of. And that is that community of people who are opposed to pro blackness, meaning that these people are moving away from the designation, not the designation of being called black, but moving away from the designation of being black. How could you not support that? That's like a no-brainer to me. How could you not support any people who want to move away from being black? The thing that was opposed upon us, or pro African American. What I'm thinking is that people want to skip the part where we investigate who we really are. We are lazy in the commitment to know, and comfortable with the idea that this is just what it is. Well, it doesn't seem to me that it should be that hard to just investigate. To just take some time and work from yourself back through your ancestry, your genealogy, seeing where your people were as far back as you can get anyway. Challenge false history. Death to self. Peace and love to you. You're welcome. I have been looking for ways to elbow my way in and be a part of this giving back to our community, and that was a no-brainer. That was easy, not easy to do. It was an easy challenge to step up to. Now it took some time to get through that and read it and put it together in a way that I could feel comfortable sharing. But I'm thankful for all the support that I've been getting for making my way in to this community of people who intend to move forward, move forward with getting back to ourselves, which is how I came up with the addition of back to you, because getting back to you is what's important to me. So I am going to go ahead and prepare to end the broadcast. I'm going to briefly go back over the two subjects, um, the two items on the menu. And one of those was this question: Black is a culture forced upon a people's soul. Why would that people stay Black? And that is to provoke thought for people who are pro Black, to provoke thought for people who are still just taking it. And the other item on the menu was this free conference call.com that maybe people don't know about. And I did not and wasn't going to actually go over the intricacies of this, but I did want to share it because it is my thought that um, it is my thought that if people can hide their YouTube identity, that they might enter a discussion. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to leave this question up for a few seconds, and for about 30 seconds or so, sort of like an end screen. And then I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I try to stay around an hour for now. Maybe at some point, getting better at delivery and better at having people come on board. Death to Self says it's hard to get out of the mindset, though. I think people don't want to disown their culture, right? No matter um, no matter how, let's say, I wanted to say, for lack of better words, effed up. No matter how messed up a culture is, people get comfortable and they just rather stay in it. You know, it's what you know. Is that good enough? Are those people who are accepting of that as a position, like this is my culture, this is what I know, I'm not letting it go? is worth fighting for are those people who feel that way to be taken seriously when they make efforts to stop people who are tired of being suffocated by these constructs, by these walls that are given to us or were given to us. I hope that that what future teller, okay, you, yep, I'm gonna keep asking it too. I'm going to keep asking it. I'm going to keep asking the same thing. This won't be the last time. Death to Self says, I grew up in the 70s, and at 50, learning this information has so incredible and enlightening, has been so incredible and enlightening that black is no longer in my vocabulary unless I use it in the right context. I applaud you. I applaud you for that. When we can begin to use the vocabulary that we have properly, we are going to become better. We're going to be able to communicate better, learn better, and know better. And so, with that, I am going to go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate y'all, and I'm going to look forward to a next time. Peace and love, y'all.